Friction is a phenomenon we encounter every day. It may be useful. For example, due to friction, car brakes function properly, but also disadvantageous as it causes wear of the following components: engine, gearbox, rear axles, steering gear power, and other parts of a vehicle. This phenomenon cannot be eliminated, but you can reduce its destructing influence by applying different oils and grease. Chemists and physicians have been working on alleviating effects of friction for many years. One of the successful results of their research is a preparation called Ceramizer. Ceramizer, produced nowadays, is used for regeneration and protection of mechanisms in which friction of metal parts occurs, especially in motorization. The producer of the preparation, in order to prove the product efficiency in protecting and regeneration of an engine, took a risk and put Ceramizer to an extreme test. He invited the media and Mr. Jacek Chojnacki, an authority on car mechanics, so that there is no doubt about the validity of the test.
Celem testu jest ocena skuteczności preparatu o nazwie Ceramizer. Test polegać będzie na jeździe bez oleju na trasie Nadarzyn-Katowice-Nadarzyn.
The goal of the test is to evaluate the efficiency of Ceramizer. It will be tested by driving with no oil on the route Nadarzyn-Katowice-Nadarzyn. It is a distance of approximately 540 kilometers in the weather conditions as we have today. The temperature is about 2 degrees Celsius. What we want to emphasize is Ceramizer's efficiency, which means that when you use it, there is created a ceramic metal layer that protects the vehicle from wear and at the same time, in extreme cases, hypothetical breakdown or leakage. It allows you to continue your drive. The car used for the test was a Honda Civic with a mileage of about 180,000 kilometers. Before the test began, the car efficiency was checked and a significant wear of the engine was stated, as well as a low compression pressure, especially on the third cylinder. It was as low as 5.5 bar. Next, a 15 milliliter dose of the preparation Ceramizer was applied into the engine. Due to the preparation, a ceramic metal protective layer was created in the engine after doing 2,000 kilometers. From the moment of application of the preparation to the oil. The result was surprising to everyone.
Ja byłem tego świadkiem, ale ja tutaj panom powiedziałem, że jeżeli
I saw it with my own eyes, but as I have already said, when clients see this result after 2,000 kilometers, they will think it's baloney.
Po aplikacji Ceramizera i pokonaniu tych 2000 kilometrów uzyskaliśmy efekt, że
having applied Ceramizer and driven the 2,000 kilometers, we got the result that compression pressure on all 4 cylinders reached the same level of 13.5 bar. This is a nominal value for that engine. The result is unbelievable, but it is a fact. Here, in relation to the third cylinder, we suspected it had been seized. Due to the Ceramizer, the ring was unblocked as well.
Ceramizer również spowodował odblokowanie tego pierścienia.
After such preparations, the Honda was put to the final test. Oil was let out to simulate a breakdown. Here is the beginning of the test. In our case, the producer of Ceramizer intends to drive over 200 kilometers. The car moves with an average speed of 80 kilometers an hour. How many kilometers will the car manage to drive? Journalists are constantly observing the vehicle. The result seems astonishing. Many cars are often not able to drive even 2 kilometers when there has been an oil leakage, as the high temperature and lack of oiling element cause the engine to seize.
Z ceramizerami już mam do czynienia od bodajże 2 czy 3 lat. Sam sprawdziłem ich działanie.
I have been dealing with ceramizers for 2 or 3 years now. I have used it in my own car, which had significant mileage, and I used one preparation in my gearbox. Well, it did not fix the gearbox, but let's say it fixed the process that had been going on. At least I got such impression. The car did not, so to speak, suffer any longer, and as far as today's test is concerned, I was an optimist from the start. I have to admit, however, that I am impressed. Now I have no doubt this is the product that really works.
Przejechaliśmy 562 km bez oleju na trasie Nadarzyn-Katowice-Nadarzyn. Teraz jesteśmy z powrotem. Jechaliśmy praktycznie cały...
We drove 562 kilometers without oil. Taking the route Nadarzyn-Katowice-Nadarzyn, we are now back. We have been driving all day actually, since morning until now. Surprisingly, the engine shows no sign of wear. I believe the engine will be examined later on. I am very surprised. I thought we would drive maximum 50 kilometers with no oil, and it is more than our goal and more than we estimated to go.
Ta warstwa podstawowa panewki wcale nie jest zużyta całkowicie. No taki normalny silnik po 150 tysiącach.
All I see is nothing. The basic layer of the bearing is far from being completely worn. It is like a regular engine after 150,000 kilometers, which has oil. It looks just the same. What I can do is check the diameter and goes for the connecting bearings, which are exposed to most problems. If there is no oil in the engine, they really show no signs of strange excessive wear. And if someone said they had been taken out from an engine in which there was no oil, I would not be surprised by their condition. In my opinion, this engine could go on for about, I think, 100,000 kilometers, with oil in it of course. I do not know how much longer it could go on if there was no oil. I could bet it would be 2,000 kilometers. I could drive without oil.
Ja usiłuję pokazać zużycie, no którego nie widzę. Tu jest normalne, typowe, klasyczne zużycie.
I am trying to show signs of wear, but I do not see them. This is just a typical regular wear caused by using the engine. We can compare two sets of connecting bearings of a 1600 turbo diesel engine, where in one case the bearings on my left are in decent condition, whereas the ones on my right are destroyed. There were probably some problems with oil pressure and lubrication, hence the intensive process of bearings getting worn. There is no layer characteristic for a bearing. It is just the base of a bearing. It is an absolutely positive impression. If we have a normal engine, we can talk about prevention. And the second thing, I guess the most important one, is the problem of avoiding the results of so-called dry start, cold start. That is the most important factor as far as the durability of an engine is concerned. I think this preparation can limit the problem of the so-called cold start with at least 90% efficiency. The efficiency of the Ceramizer was also the subject of research conducted by scientists from Opole Technical University.
Ceramizera rozprowadzonego w zalecanym udziale procentowym w oleju bazowym przy tarciu powierzchni stalowych, stali.
We examined the way Ceramizer behaves when mixed in a recommended percentage value with a base oil, when there is friction of bearing steel and constructional steel. We found that the intensity of wear of frictioning parts was reduced over 4 times in comparison to their operation without the preparation. So our research showed the validity and the efficiency of the preparation. Right now, in this syringe, there is an idea of engineering that hasn't been thought of in the last 100 years. One more thing. We do not recommend driving without oil, we just wanted to show the properties of ceramizing preparations. How can they be useful on a daily basis?
Z jednej strony można powiedzieć, że dla silnika na pewnym etapie jego życia
You can say that at a certain time in the engine's life, the preparations may be treated as a medication, but I believe that for efficient engines, this is even more important. This is prevention. One ceramizer applied to engine oil saves the engine from wear for about 70,000 kilometers. Ceramizer applied to a gearbox, a rear bridge or a steering assisting system saves the mechanism from wear for at least 100,000 kilometers.